That's pretty dope that you beat Grand Theft Auto 5 and Grand Theft Auto 4 and even San Andreas. I mean, some of those games really gave me trouble back in the day. I needed cheats to be able to get far in those. But that's pretty dope that you were able to complete those games. That's good. As I don't think I would have known that about you normally. So that's kind of the scenario there, is just trying to say how being able to beat some of those games kind of kicks ass. I mean, really, I mean, Grand Theft Auto games were always kind of tough, but the more you played them, the more they kind of got simpler and such. But I mean, I just remember just consistently getting ass whippings in that game, but still having fun with it. I mean, that's the kind of game that you lose at, but it doesn't stop being fun. I mean, normally when I get pissed off at a game, I rage about it. I mean, I try not to get too embarrassing about it, but I do get annoyed. So, but that's definitely a game that it doesn't matter. It's just fun to play.
Oh yeah, absolutely. San Andreas was great. It was like peak GTA in my opinion. Like you said, all that stuff they did with it, they killed it. There was a lot of there was a lot of good things going for it. All those things you mentioned, I agree. I liked them as well in San Andreas, and it's what made the experience great. And another thing I like about San Andreas is even after I beat it, there were so many cheat codes that made the game crazy fun. That's another thing I miss in gaming, cheat codes. Whatever happened to those? I remember cheat codes back in the day. They went away, unfortunately. But yeah, all those aspects definitely made San Andreas what it is, and it added to it for sure. Yeah, for sure. I'm glad that I did beat the GTA games that I've beaten. Granted, I'll admit with GTA 5, I did skip some of the missions because that game lets you skip missions because some of the stuff was just ridiculous. Like, one of the banes of my existence with any GTA game is plane missions. I hate plane missions with a passion. I like whenever they want you to land a plane or do something plane related. I always sucked at that stuff. I can't fly a fucking plane in those GTA games. That was one of the hardest things in San Andreas that I was stuck on is when you were forced to do those plane missions for. I can't remember the character's name, but you had to do these plane missions. They were such a pain in the ass. And what sucked is they were part of the main story, so if you didn't do them, you weren't going to advance, and that was very tough. So I get what you're meaning about them being challenging, because I remember, I haven't played Vice City myself, but I remember there was some mission I heard about that was ridiculous with like a plane car or something.
Yeah, there were some big missions in Grand Theft Auto that were just a bastard. I mean, a lot of times back in those days, I had my buddies beat a lot of those missions, like the plane missions. I really don't remember. I mean, the thing about it was like a friend of mine beat the whole game of Grand Theft Auto from like Las Venturas, which is like the Las Vegas city forward. He beat that whole stage all the way to the end where you kill off Smoke. He beat that until like 4 or 5 in the morning. And I was just half tired, and he just did all of those plane missions. It was crazy. I tried like once or twice, and I was like, dude, I can't do this. But then also, like the thing that I had problems with in Vice City were the boating missions. There was a lot of that just because it was supposed to be based on Florida and stuff. But those boating missions were just terrible in terms of how tough they were.
Yeah, it definitely does seem like a lot of those GTA missions were really hard, and a struggle. Um, you know, that's why it was kind of cool on GTA 5. You could like skip some of the missions because I had to. Some of them was just too hard. But nowadays, I would have tried to do it legit because I'm very, I don't know what the word is, persistent or something on something, getting it done even if I fail. But yeah, I don't blame you for getting other people to do it for you because some of that shit's just a pain in the ass. Didn't know Vice City had boat missions. I imagine those are probably hard as well.